Hello, my loves. Today we are building in the world of Henford-on-Bagley. We are creating a florist, a plant nursery for a sim named Neil Rhodes. He has just moved from Brichester to Henford-on-Bagley. He was working as a conservationist, but he felt like it was a bit too hectic, a bit too busy, and he found himself in the peaceful countryside of Henford-on-Bagley. His passion is gardening. It is his one true love. So he thought, what better than to make a business out of it in a small, quaint town like Henford-on-Bagley. So I started this build off with really no reference image, kind of looked around on Pinterest and got some ideas, but I really went into this blind. So you'll see I start to struggle a little bit with windows and doors coming up here. I usually build with custom content, so I actually found this really challenging, trying to, pick doors that are the right height because the Sims team love them, but why are all of the doors so short? I'm used to my custom content doors that go almost all the way up, and that was really what I was looking for with this build, but I did eventually settle on a door that you'll see later that I think does look really nice. It's, I believe, the one from the base game update, which that door is beautiful. Here I am messing with that movie hangout, I believe, that round door. I thought that the flowers painted on it would be beautiful, but the swatches, none of them really matched with what I wanted. I originally wanted to go very light and bright with this, but it just wasn't working, so I do eventually darken down all of the wood tones and go for a darker brown as opposed to the white. Looking back, that rounded door does look really nice, but I'm very happy with the way that it did turn out after I did some messing around with it. I wanted lots of window boxes and greenery to fit in with, one, the environment, and two, the type of lot that this is, being a florist and a plant nursery. But right now I am just going through and messing with swatches, and I think I'm going to be doing this for a minute. I was really struggling trying to get the color scheme that I wanted, especially without a reference image. So while you guys sit here and watch me struggle trying to pick a good colorway and a good color palette for this place, my name is Cam. I have been playing The Sims since it came out. I played Sims 3. When I was younger, I would go in my dad's gaming room and he would play Skyrim or World of Warcraft, and I would sit and play Sims. It is my game. I have played other things. I enjoy playing a lot of other games actually, but The Sims will always be my number one. I have way too many hours in The Sims. It is truly a passion of mine. Not only is it fun, but I truly enjoy and feel inspired by this game and the opportunities you have to express yourself. I've played this game for so long as a hobby and as something to do in my spare time, but I've just been so inspired by a lot of other YouTubers and content creators and felt like it would be fun to do this for myself. So here I am. Hello. I live in the southeast of the US. I'm currently enrolled in a community college doing a visual design program, so that would be like graphic design and things like that. I'm definitely a very creative, artistic person, and I think that is one of the reasons why I love The Sims so much. So it fits right into the rest of my hobbies. Some of my classes at school have been about recording videos and making content, which has actually been really cool. But I thought I could utilize some of the stuff that I've learned while in school and maybe make some content myself. So I started this page about a year ago, actually, and I just got so busy. Things have chilled out a lot more, so I think I'll be able to be a little bit more consistent with posting. I find the most challenging part to be when to post and what to call it. I feel like it's just such a niche community that sometimes it's kind of hard to find your spot within that. But overall, I'm very excited to start this journey and see where it goes. Some of my favorite creators are Devin Bumpkin and Sid Mack. I do also watch Vixella and a couple other creators, but my number one and like my true inspiration is Devin Bumpkin. If you guys know him, I love you, because he is the best. I don't know how he doesn't have more followers than he does, because he is incredibly talented. So I wouldn't be surprised if you find some similarities between my content and his, because he has been a great inspiration for me. I've been watching his content, like I said, for so long. But anyways, enough about me. Where are you guys from? How long have you been playing Sims? I would actually like to build a community that I can get to know you guys and kind of talk and chat a little bit. I don't want this to be like a one-way conversation. I would love to get input on things, and you guys could help come up with storylines and submit Sims that you think would be fitting in a lot that I build. I do occasionally play around and create a Sim, but I'm definitely more of a builder. Same thing with actual gameplay. I try, and then I get bored, and then I build something new and make a new family. I am definitely really bad about that. I have been for as long as I've been playing The Sims. I've always preferred building over anything else. At one point I did want to be an interior designer. It's just where I live, there weren't many opportunities school-wise, and I wasn't really looking to move away from home. But yeah, I'm very content with the degree I did pick. I think it's going to be very useful for me. Not exactly sure how I'm going to go about it, but I've always known that I wanted to do something creative career-wise. But let's see, where are we at right now? I believe I am still finagling with the color palette. Here I was thinking about shutters, but those top wings on the cottage living windows on the upper floor were cutting into the shutters. In hindsight, they did look pretty nice. Might go back in and add those back in, but I do like the way that the build turned out in the end, so I'll probably leave it. But it felt very busy and cramped up there, and I think after I changed that door, I think they maybe would have fit in a little bit better. But here I'm starting to switch into those darker tones, and I think that it's much more flattering against the brighter brick and stone, which I do eventually change that brick to be full cobblestone. And I did go with a terracotta tiled roof. I think that it looks so beautiful on this lot. I did originally want to do a thatched roof when I first came up with the idea of building a florist, but it just didn't fit with the shape of the building the way that I wanted it to. And I had seen some reference pictures of the terracotta roofs on some English cottages and thought that that would be really fun for a florist. I think here, yes, this is when I go for this door. I think that it looks so good, especially after I get the awnings on top of it. So here I am darkening everything up to be more fitting with that door. And I don't know, the shutters, I'm not sure how I feel about them, so you guys can let me know below if you think that the shutters look good on this build. I did eventually put some ivy up after I took the shutters off, and I think that that looked really flattering. But yeah, here I go taking those shutters off. They just were not speaking to me. It was not it. I also did try some window boxes, and you will see me try just about every single one we have. None of them fit. It felt very off balance. But here I am adding the beautiful Vampire's Ivy. I love this stuff. It will probably be in just about every build that I do. So I hope you love it as much as I do. I think it is just so easy to use. I do tend to use the university ivy as well to kind of soften up some of the edges at times. I didn't do that on this build. I don't know. The square shape of that ivy wasn't really sticking out to me as an issue. But yeah, the flower boxes in The Sims are not my favorite. I have a bunch of them that are custom content that I love, but I'm trying to do a save file that has no CC. That does not include Sims though, because I can't live without my skin details and default eye replacements. Can't do it, gotta have it. So the Sims that live in these houses and on these lots, they will have custom content. But if you guys would like to see some base game or some EA and Maxis create a Sim videos, I would be happy to do that. It's just not really my thing. I can do outfits that don't have CC, but in terms of skin details, I have default skin overlays installed, so you probably won't see Sims without that, but never say never. But yeah, so like I said, this house and this business belongs to a Sim named Neil Rhodes. I actually have not created him yet, so if any of you guys have Sims that you think would fit in here, or any ideas about what he might look like, some more of his personality, hobby, please let me know. I didn't put that much thought into it. I just knew I wanted a guy to be recently moved into Henford-on-Bagley. Like I said, it is Brichester. I think that he studied some sort of green something, whether it be gardening or agriculture. I think that he did go to school with the idea of being a botanist, and I think he got looped into some conservation work by some of his friends. I just don't think it was for him. I see this Sim as very slow living, very relaxed, and I just think that Henford-on-Bagley was the place for him. The flat upstairs will be in a separate video, as well as the interior of the Florist and plant nursery itself, but it is a 1-bedroom, so I'm not 100% sure if Neil is going to have a partner. Definitely no kids, because like I said, he just got out of university, so I'm thinking he's 22 at the absolute most. So no kids, no pets, but whether or not he's going to have a boyfriend or a girlfriend that lives on the lot with him, I'm not 100% sure. Maybe that's something that can be added in through gameplay and through storyline. You guys can share your thoughts and opinions on that. But so yeah, here we have finally settled on a color palette. I went with dark browns, that really light, creamy stone color that's on the windows and the walls, and a pop of blue. I think that blue looks so good with the rest of the color palette, especially with the background. The sky in Henford-on-Bagley is so beautiful, and I really like the way that they look next to each other, especially with the other colors that I chose, kind of creating a barrier around it so it's not blue on blue. I don't know, I think it looks good. I really wish that we had some more decals like the ones that we've gotten with businesses and hobbies. I know there's a couple ones mixed in throughout some other packs, but the ones in businesses and hobbies are stunning, but I want more. I find myself using the same logo for multiple different types of businesses and lots, and I just wish we had a couple more like that. Hopefully, maybe with the new Enchanted by Nature pack. Are you guys as excited about that as I am? Because I am ecstatic. I have definitely been on the train of begging for fairies forever. I love playing with occult Sims. More than anything, I like building whimsical and fantasy style builds. I think it is so fun and so freeing. I do occasionally build with realism like I am here, but I do really enjoy those fantastical style builds. In the teaser for the new pack, I was in awe. It is so beautiful. I am so excited, so whimsy, so fun. I am really curious actually if they are going to do fairies dirty like they did with mermaids, or if it is going to lean more towards spellcasters and werewolves and vampires. Same thing with aliens. Aliens and mermaids did not get the justice that they deserved. So I'm hoping fairies will be a little bit more in depth and in detail, because we've been begging for a really long time. So it'd be quite a bummer if they didn't go all out for this. Here I am looking for some sort of sign to put in the window, whether it be a poster or an advertisement, and I did eventually settle on the one from Cottage Living because it came in a really nice blue, and it wasn't too farm either, because I didn't want this to be a farm shop. I do plan on building something similar to that in Henford-on-Bagley, just not this one. Maybe that can be next door. I don't know. You guys tell me what you think. I was kind of leaning towards like a tattoo shop, but I don't know if that really fits into the Henford-on-Bagley scene. But I just thought the contrast of having a tattoo shop and a florist next to each other would be really cute. And you know, maybe that could be Neil's new love interest. I don't know. But I don't know. I don't think there's any townies that came in Cottage Living that have tattoos. And not that you can't give them tattoos or put in new townies. I don't know. I'm not sure if that really fits in. I've been doing some brainstorming about what I might want to put next door. I'm just really not sure. So, like I said, I would really love for you guys to share some ideas on what you think would fit in nicely here. Which, if you guys couldn't tell, this is my first voiceover. I haven't been pushing for my YouTube as hard just because I feel like it's really hard to get started on YouTube. I've been focusing a lot on TikTok in terms of developing a following. If you guys have any tips on how to boost videos on YouTube, please let me know. I've had a lot more success on TikTok. My TikTok is the same as my YouTube, at SimplyCam. So definitely check that out. There's a lot more content on there. I do plan on posting on YouTube, but one, it takes so much longer to edit. The voiceovers are hard to find time for. I live with my boyfriend, and it's kind of awkward to sit there because our gaming space is shared, and it just feels weird to sit there and talk to my phone or my computer while he is playing his game. He's into gaming too, but more so like Call of Duty and Battlefield, stuff that I have no interest in. So the contrast sometimes is really funny as I'm playing my cozy games like Hogwarts Legacy or Minecraft sometimes, or Sims, and he's over there killing people and yelling at his computer screen. I don't know. I don't get it. To each their own, but I much prefer games that only make me rage when, the railings on your staircase are like glitching into the walls, not that somebody has been repeatedly killing me at spawn. I don't know. But anyways, so here I am about to go into Cottage Living debug. Yep, here I am. I think actually I ended up using some shrubs from another pack. Yes, I used the ones from, what was that, Get Together. I just thought they were really green and lush, and they looked really nice. I did shrink those down. They were a bit big, and I didn't want to block off the view from the street entirely. And around here, I wanted some separation. I didn't end up fencing off the entry to the apartment upstairs. I don't think it's necessary. It's Henford-on-Bagley. I feel like it's a very safe area. Not if you're in Dev and Pumpkin's save file, but we have no murder mysteries here. But yeah, I just didn't think it was necessary. I also really didn't want to mess with trying to get fences and gates to look nice, and I don't know. I just think you lock your door upstairs. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't even do that, but I just feel like it's a safe enough world that it's not necessary. But in hindsight, we did just get the burglars recently, so I might go in and add a burglar alarm because we really don't need all of his plants being stolen. But yes, I went for the Cottage Living latticed windows. I think I do change the ones on the side there to those, yes, I do, those stone ones. But in the back, I did use those brown wooden latticed windows, and I think maybe on that side, nope. But yeah, I think that they looked really nice in the back, but it just there wasn't enough brown on the sides there for it to really fit in the way I would like it to. So this will be a functional small business lot. I will separate everything out before I post it on the gallery. My gallery ID does not match my content because, like I said, when I first started playing The Sims, I was, I'm 21 now, 2014. So I was 10 years old when I started playing The Sims. So I was indeed using my dad's EA account. The profile picture is the dragon from Elder Scrolls or Skyrim, so it is definitely not me, and I would like to change it. I'm just not 100% sure how. I think I'll probably just have to have him do it through his email or whatever. So I will add my gallery ID in the description or the comments of this video after I've gotten it sorted, and if I can't, then I'll just stick with his. But yes, so here I have pulled out those tables from the Greenhouse Haven kit, and I am pulling out a bunch of different plants. This was another time that I was really missing my custom content. There were so many plants that I had in my head that I don't have. I have my custom content turned off. But it did force me to look at some of these plants that I typically disregard for custom content, and they're not that bad. They could be worse. And of course, the table has like 6 slots total, so I had to go and use bb.moveobjects to get them placed in a more organic fashion. Was really not looking for strategically perfectly placed 6 plants per table. That is not Neil's vibe. I do see him as being a bit of a mess, and that kind of shows a little bit upstairs and in the actual business itself. There's some organization, but not really. He's just a guy that likes to plant, and I think the idea of owning a business is new to him. But like I said, this will be 100% functional, and I will get it posted on the gallery for you guys. I think I already said that. I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, here I'm just moving some plants around, struggling, I will admit, trying to get them to all fit on the table. I also used those decals from, I believe, high school years. And we are just going to pretend that sign says Neil's Floral Shop and Plant Nursery. Once again, doing the same thing over here on the other table, trying to make those plants look as naturally placed as possible. Earlier, when I was talking about being forced to realize that some of the base game plants were not as bad as I thought, specifically that orange leafy plant there in the back corner. Why does it look so good? Like, I've never given that plant the time of day. I think more than anything, it's the vase. The swatches on the base game pots are not it. We have orange, red, blue, and then really strange black and white swatches. I don't know. I hope that they do a base game plant refresh or something similar that they did to Spa Day. I would love the same plants, but just in more modern planters, or not even modern, just cleaner looking ones. I'm just not a big fan of the pots that they come in. And I know we can go in and use a vase, but it seems like too much work. I feel like they can just give us better pots, but I don't know. What do I know? I also have been really obsessed with the flooring here. I believe it's from Get to Work. I want to say, or maybe Get Together, one of the Gets, but I really enjoy it. It looks so nice. It is resembling custom content, and I know that it is one of the older floorings. It's not from a new pack. So this build was full of surprises for me, and seeing that maybe the custom content isn't as necessary as I might have believed, But I had a really fun time going through and trying to challenge myself and find items that I haven't really used because I had something similar that was custom content. Which, because of how much custom content I've been using it since I started playing The Sims, but I haven't gotten a lot of the kits especially, and I've seen so many items that there isn't actually something like it custom content wise, so I'm feeling like I might end up purchasing some of the kits. I don't know. How do you guys feel about kits? Do you feel like they're worth the money? Anywho's, we are coming to the end of the exterior of this build. I do show you guys a tour of the full outside after I finish placing the final touches. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I am looking forward to posting more content and getting out there, trying new things, and pushing the boundaries of what I have been building in the past. And with that being said, let's get on to the tour of the exterior of Neil's Florals and Plant Nursery. Bye-bye.